spokesperson. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Good evening.
Good evening. What is your assessment of Prime Minister Netanyahu's decision to order these new strikes on Gaza?
My assessment is the only logical step to take at the moment. The Gaza ceasefire agreement clearly stipulated that in the first clause of the agreement that Hamas must return 48 hostages, not just the 20 living hostages, but also the 28 deceased hostages, those who were murdered brutally by Hamas and their bodies was held captive by this malicious terrorist organization. And Hamas keeps violating this agreement over and over. Israel clearly demonstrated to our allies and to the mediators that Hamas knows where the bodies are, most of the bodies are, and Hamas is refusing to return to Israel these bodies despite the clear commitment that Hamas made during this ceasefire. And obviously, since it keeps violating the agreement, and since today Hamas militants shot at Israeli soldiers inside the Gaza Strip, and something that has happened in the last several weeks as well, the 2 weeks since the ceasefire began, Israel had no other choice. They violated the ceasefire agreement. They shoot at Israeli soldiers who are stationed in places where they were supposed to be stationed by the ceasefire agreement. So Israel really had no choice. We can't just overlook these violations and the active shooting at Israeli military soldiers at the Gaza Strip.
From a strategic standpoint, what objective is Israel trying to achieve with this operation?
It's not an operation. It's a retaliation for Hamas actions in the past 2 weeks. In the past 2 weeks, as I said, Hamas violated repeatedly the ceasefire agreement and confronted IDF soldiers in the Gaza Strip in their positions. So Israel is trying to send Hamas a clear message, which is backed by the United States of America, as Vice President Vance said today, that Hamas cannot repeatedly keep violating the agreement and attack Israeli soldiers instead of complying with the agreement. And if they want to violate the agreement, we can retaliate. And this is what is going to happen. Hamas better live up to the agreement if they don't want us to retaliate.
Like you said, it's a retaliation. But how does this decision align with Israel's broader national security strategy?
Israel's broad security national strategy is like any other country, like as you're in your country, to protect its citizens. And as far as we can tell, as Hamas keeps violating the ceasefire agreement and keeps attacking Israeli soldiers, that is violations of our security and our self-confidence as citizens. And we trust that our military will enforce the agreement, that our military will protect us and will retaliate against Hamas when it attacks Israeli civilians, Israeli soldiers. So I think it aligns perfectly because we can't be seen as pushovers that we can just overlook when we fill up our side of the agreement and Hamas just disregards their part of the agreement. We obviously cannot allow this to happen.
Thank you so much, Ofir Dayan, for joining us on the news at 10 and for your take.
Thank you for having me, and I really hope for peaceful days here in Israel, in Africa, and everywhere else.
Yes, we pray so too. Thank you. Have a good night. Still on the news, Hurricane Melissa